Welcome to Gift of Life, the Organ Transplant podcast. These are the stories of those who have received, given, and who are waiting for the gift of life, organ transplantation. Now here's your host and heart and kidney recipient, BJ Odom.
Welcome to the Gift of Life, the Organ Transplant podcast, where we explore the extraordinary world of organ transplantation. I'm your host, BJ Odom. Each week, we share inspiring stories and introduce you to remarkable individuals sharing their own transplant stories. Be sure to support the podcast by leaving a 5-star review and subscribing on your preferred podcast platform. Have a transplant story yourself? We'd love to have you share it right here on the podcast. Just send us an email. It's giftoflifepodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's giftoflifepodcast@gmail.com. Also, check out our new website, giftoflifepodcast.com. And don't forget to connect with us on Facebook, Gift of Life, the Organ Transplant Podcast. I'd like to welcome everyone to episode 57. We're going to talk mostly about kidney transplants and how many people in the United States are currently waiting for a kidney transplant. The number, unbelievable. Some of my friends having a tough time finding those kidney matches. It does happen. Sometimes it just takes, it seems like forever, and we hate to have that happen to anyone. In fact, we're going to check in again with Dan Daggett. He is coming in next. Today, we're shedding light on the pressing issue, the urgent need for kidney transplants in the United States. As of now, over 103,000 individuals are on the National Transplant Waiting List, with approximately 86% of those, nearly 90,000 people, waiting for a kidney transplant. The average wait time for a kidney from a deceased donor ranges from 3 to 5 years. Tragically, about 13 people die each day while waiting for a transplant. In 2023, over 6,900 individuals became living organ donors, with the majority donating kidneys. These generous acts not only save lives, but also reduce the waiting time for recipients. Consider the stories we've already had on previously this year that need kidney transplants, including Dan Daggett and also Alex Barrios. Becoming a living donor is a profound decision, but with comprehensive medical evaluations and support, many find it to be a rewarding experience. If you're inspired and want to learn more about becoming a donor, visit organdonor.org or UNOS, which is UNOS.org. Dan, we talked to you a while back and just thought we'd check in. How are things going?
Hey, we're doing well up here in southern Indiana, trying to keep things moving forward. I'm in my 5th month of dialysis. It's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. Everything else I do kind of revolves around that. For me, I have to be there about 10:15 in the morning, and my scheduled start time is 10:55. So sometime around 10:30, 10:40 or so in the morning, they take me back into the dialysis area and check my weight and blood pressure and temperature and get me into a chair. And they have everything set up with my name on it, have that machine calculated for my dialysis session. And they have to connect me to the machine, and that means 2 long needles into my left arm. And once they get those into place, then I have to sit quietly and be good for 4 hours. Kind of like kindergarten, but with a little more serious.
Well, what I was wondering also, because it's been a while since we've talked to you, how are things going, and are things somewhat, I don't even want to use the word normal, but are we on the way to just waiting for that kidney or that call, or where are we at and how have we been?
No, you know what, we've been good. Falling into a routine with dialysis, it kind of forces you to do that. Nobody wants to be in that situation, but you try to make the most of it once you are. And I've got a group of really good nurses that take very good care of me. And yeah, always waiting for that phone call. We've got a bag packed, sitting by the door, waiting for that phone call from, for me, it's from the IU transplant team. Also, we go in early June, my wife and I, to the University of Cincinnati to do some testing and evaluation to be put on their transplant list. So we're excited about that opportunity as well. And as we've talked about before, one of the challenges with this whole process is that we do not know if anybody has stepped forward to volunteer themselves for testing on behalf of me until they tell us, because IU won't do the HIPAA laws. So it's really, you're just kind of sitting in the dark waiting for somebody to give you some information. And that's what makes it a really challenging process.
Now, what was kind of cool, a few weeks ago, I had a young lady on who got a kidney transplant, and it was someone she knew, but instead of them going, hey, I'm getting tested, hey, I don't know, but we're trying. And, they waited until they got approved. And she got a call from, the facility said, we found your donor. And now all we just got to do is, put everything together. And she was like shocked and surprised. She goes, well, I know him. And we talk on a weekly basis. And he never told me that this was going on. So hopefully someone out there is doing that exact same thing for you. And you're going to get a call and you're going to go, I had no idea they were trying to give me a kidney.
That'd be wonderful. Our fingers be crossed for just that scenario to happen.
Now, have you, has anyone like kind of came forward and said, I want to get tested, or where are we in that? Or you just
we've kind of run the entire line here. We've had a few people that we don't know that have stepped forward to be tested. We've had a couple of people that we do know, but only one person made it very far into the process that we know of. And she was stopped at the very last meeting by the doctor. We had a pencil in transplant date last summer, and it was canceled about 12 days before the surgery.
Oh, wow.
Because the physician finally decided that her kidney would not be the right size for me. So that was a pretty hard moment. We were so close to that, just less than 2 weeks away from the surgery date, and it was canceled. But since then, we haven't had anybody get that far that we know of.
Okay. Now, have you ever talked to anyone possibly about starting a chain for you that maybe they could donate to someone else, which would start that donation chain, and then as people were exchanging kidneys along the way, they would find a match in that chain somewhere for you?
Yeah, usually that's a second part of a conversation, because if somebody's donating, the way things are done now, the blood types, most blood types can be put together with some very specific scenarios. So only if that doesn't work do they then start talking about a daisy chain situation. But yeah, that's another possibility for us to get a living kidney donor, and that's far better than receiving one from a deceased donor.
Now, I don't want, of course, this is like in the future and futuristic, but I was just reading some research today, and they're hoping by the end of the century here that they will have actually a kidney. They're working on 2 different kidneys that they'll be able to insert into the body, and it'll work kind of like a dialysis machine. And, won't be too, one of them is actually your own blood pressure will filter through this filter that they would insert in you, and it would be kind of like dialysis, and that would just be ideal. So they're actually working on 2 things, but it did say probably, in the next, 10 to 15 years, but it's something,
you never know.
Something, they might come up with quicker. Now,
it's funny because there's a lady that I see every time I go in for dialysis, and she does her best to be positive and upbeat. And she has said to me a couple of times, one day we're going to be able to come into this dialysis center and they'll give us a shot and they'll send us home, and that'll all we have to do. And I'm waiting for that day.
Yeah, that'll be a sweet day.
It would be, and I love hearing her say that, and just how excited she gets, just thinking about that. Because I will tell you, although I do feel better with the dialysis, and I'm grateful to be on it, it is a grind. There's some days when, the needles want to be fidgety and they don't work quite right, or your blood pressure's low, and you're at the end of the treatment, you're just tired and ready to crawl into bed for 12 hours and get some sleep, even though you've really not done anything. It's very hard on the body.
Yes, it is. And that's why I said, like there's right now in the United States, there's over 90,000 people that are waiting for a kidney. And, if they could come up with something new and faster, that would be so appreciated. But man, I wish you the very best, Dan.
Yep.
And just wanted to check in with you because I thought we'd, use this episode to reach back and talk to a few of the people we've talked to in the past that are still out there waiting and fighting and doing the dialysis every day. So wishing you nothing but the best. And hopefully you're going to get that call any day now. And please call us because we want to have a major party right here for you.
I appreciate that. Thanks for all that you do for us, BJ. And I do want to remind people that if they want to learn more about my story, they can go to Facebook, just search Kidney for Dan. That's the number 4, Kidney for Dan, there on Facebook, and that'll be my page. You'll be able to find out all about my story.
All right. I hope people do that, and I hope someone comes across that page and goes, you know what? Dan sounds like a good guy. I'm going to give him a kidney.
I love it. I love it.
If I had 2 working ones, I would give you one, Dan, but I only got one.
I know you would, brother. I know you would.
But I'm enjoying the one I got, and I thank the person that, donated it to me. So the best of luck, and we'll keep in touch.
Thanks, BJ.
I find this very interesting. Researchers are making real progress on something that sounds like science fiction, an implantable artificial kidney. That's right. A device one day could be inside your body doing the job of a real kidney. No dialysis, no waiting list. Oh, that would be so amazing. Oh man, let's all pray for it, huh? Leading the way is the Kidney Project, a collaboration between U.S. San Francisco and Vanderbilt University. Their device is made up of 2 parts, a hemofilter, which filters toxins from the blood, and a bioreactor that uses living kidney cells to produce urine, just like a natural kidney would. Even cooler, it runs with your own blood pressure, so no batteries, no power cords, and no need for anti-rejection drugs. They're currently in preclinical testing phase and aiming to begin human trials in the next few years. The hope is that these life-saving devices will be available by the end of the decade. So for some of us looking for our second and third kidneys, this would truly be amazing, and I wish it would come tomorrow. Well, be sure to join us each week for a new heartfelt episode of Gift of Life. And if you have a transplant story, please email us. Love to hear from you. giftoflifepodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's giftoflifepodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook. Also, don't forget to like and share this episode with family and friends. And we'd appreciate that 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. Also, something brand new. We have a brand new website. Check it out. Not a whole lot there, but, it's growing. giftoflifepodcast.com. Check it out. Another podcast you might be enjoying is myself with my old morning radio partner, Bill Stevens. We have a lot of fun just kind of talking about, everyday stuff, plus getting older as we're both into our senior citizen years. BJ and Bill, the podcast, all on the Podcast Playground Network, home for some of the best podcasters you will ever find. We want to thank them so much for making this podcast possible. Till next time, I'm BJ Odom. Thank you so much for being a part of our journey and reminding us all to appreciate each and every day and to treasure the extraordinary gift of life.
He was running on empty, heart fading fast. Doctor said, man, you ain't gonna last. But a stranger's kindness, a gift so true, turned the night sky into something new. He got a second chance, he got a brand new spark. Like a freight train rolling back from the dark. Gift of life. Let the story be told. One heart beats, another takes hold. Give a little, save a soul. Ain't no greater rock and roll. 15 years later, the road got rough. The fight ain't over when the climb is tough. Needed a kidney, the race was on. Another hero stepped up, kept him strong. Every breath he takes is a tale of hope. One life saved, another can cope. Gift of life, let the story be told. One heart beats, another takes hold. Give a little, save a soul. Ain't no greater rock and roll. Doctor's hands, a donor's grace, running on down to a brand new place. Second chances don't come twice, but when they do, man, they feel so nice. Let's spread the word, let the people know. One yes today lets a miracle grow. You don't need wings just to save a man. Just a little love, a helping hand. Gift of life, let the story be told. One heart beats, another takes hold. Give a little, save a soul. Ain't no greater rock and roll. BJ still rocking, still standing tall. Thanks to the ones who gave it all. Gift of life, hear the sound. Pass it on, pass it down. The Gift of Life podcast, hosted by BJ Odom. Listen now. Listen now.